Lesson 1 for September 29 through to October 5, Creation and the Fall. Sabbath afternoon, September 29. Our memory text this week is Genesis chapter 15 and verses 5 and 6. Then God brought Abraham outside and said, "Look now toward heaven and count the stars, if you are able to number them." And he said to them, "So shall your descendants be." And he believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. Let's read that again, Genesis chapter 15, verses 5 and 6. Then God brought Abraham outside and said, "Look now toward heaven and count the stars, if you are able to count them." And he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." And he believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. The story of God's people starts with the creation of humans and their tragic fall into sin. Any attempt at understanding the nature of unity in the church must begin with God's original plan at the creation, and then the need for restoration after the fall. The first chapters of the Bible reveal that God intended for humanity to remain one family. Unfortunately, this unity was severed after the tragedy of sin. In sin alone, the roots of disunity and division arose, more of disobedience's foul consequences. We get a hint of this division in the immediate interaction between Adam and Eve, when God first approached them after they ate of the forbidden tree. And we'll read that in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 11. "And he said, 'Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat?'" Hence, among all else that the plan of salvation will accomplish, the restoration of the original unity is one crucial goal as well. Abraham, the father of God's people, became a key player in God's plan of salvation. Abraham is depicted in Scripture as the great example of righteousness by faith, the kind of faith that unites God's people with each other and with the Lord himself. Romans 4, verses 1 to 5 reads, "What then shall we say that Abraham our father has found according to the flesh? For if Abraham was justified by works, he has something to boast about, but not before God. For what does the Scripture say? Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Now to him who works, the wages are not counted as grace, but as debt. But to him who does not work, but believes on him who justifies the ungodly, his faith is counted as righteousness." God works through people to restore unity and to make his will known to lost humankind.